In case you're wondering, my favourite Hell in a Cell match ever was the Undertaker vs Shawn Michaels from Bad Blood 1997. The original, and in my opinion, still the best. Good hello, ladies and gentlemen, I am Mark P, and these are my Hell in a Cell thoughts. The Hell in a Cell pay-per-view has just this moment gone off the air, so I thought I would bang one out. That sounds a bit wrong. I thought I would do my review straight away, my thoughts. Expectations were ridiculously low for this show. You know, only 5 matches on the card. 3 of those matches, alright, had a bit of intrigue to them, but you know, expectations were low, and I think at the end of the day, that's going to be a good thing in this situation, shall we? Yeah, do you? I think that very much so. Let's get on with it. So in the opening contest. Oh, incidentally, this was available over here in England, before I go on. This was over here in England on Sky Box Office. So that's right, it costs $14.95 on top of your Sky Sports package. Fucking lame. Glad I watched it on a stream. So, in the opening contest, Daniel Bryan retained the United States Championship in a good Falls Count Anywhere submission match. Now, what I liked about this is that all 3 guys bringing out new stuff. I can't remember a time where I've ever seen John Morrison pull out a Texas Cloverleaf before. Have to say that I thoroughly loved that one. They brawled around the crowd. They brawled around the entrance way. There was submission moves. There was can you say there was weapons? Because the Miz used a bin. That's hardcore, baby. Oh yes. You can see why they made it Falls Count Anywhere, so they could do that. There was some nice stuff up by the entrance ramp, including Miz hitting the skull-crushing finale on Morrison on the steel concrete. Oh, that was nice. Crowd started chanting, "This is awesome," because John Morrison went to the top of the entrance set that was made to look like one corner of a Hell in a Cell, yeah, and did a crossbody off the top of that onto Miz and Daniel Bryan. That got a "This is awesome" chant. You don't ever hear those at WWE shows, do you? So that was good. The liberal lock on Miz got the win for Daniel Bryan, and I had no problem giving that one 3 stars. You know? Love to know what you thought. Next up, Randy Orton defeated Sheamus in the first of the Hell in a Cell matches to retain his WWE Championship. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. So let's go through it, shall we? With lots and lots of notes. So, Orton control from the start. Sheamus came back with a nice shoulder block off the over the ropes and a big clothesline on the outside. He tried to use the ring steps, but is rammed into the post by Orton and eats the cage. Then Orton uses the steps for 2. Orton gets bumped around the cell for 2, then took control, pulling off the turnbuckle pad. He Sheamus pulled a turnbuckle pad off. He rammed Orton into the cell again, and then hit a reverse suplex on the steps, so that Orton crashed stomach first onto the steps. That was nice. I liked that. He puts body scissors on Orton in the middle of the ring. Orton escapes and hits a back suplex and bounces Sheamus' shoulder into the exposed turnbuckle. Like that. It's wrestling in wrestling, isn't it? If the heel takes off the turnbuckle pad, he's the one who's going to get bounced into the turnbuckle 9 times out of 10. And of course, back in the Attitude Era especially, that spot was a guaranteed blood spot, wasn't it? In any match, if someone got bounced face first into the turnbuckle ring, they were going to be busted open for a certain, were they not? Oh yes. Next. Orton, I've got to point out, is selling the ribs beautifully in this one. Really good psychology. I'm really liking that. Power slam by Orton. It's called a scoop slam by Cole, but in the very same sentence, it's called a power slam by Matt Striker. Nice one, Striker, for sticking up for the people and calling a move for exactly what it is, not some bullshit made-up name by Michael Cole. Ha ha ha! Belly spot gets 2. Sheamus goes for an Uranagi. It's countered into a back cracker. He goes for a RKO, but Sheamus drives a knee into the ribs. He pulls out the steps into the ring. Orton hits a perfect power slam onto the steps for 2. That was gorgeous. He goes to the DDT. Sheamus on the steps, but it's countered, so he does it off the apron instead. Bit of a botch because Sheamus lands on top of Orton. But what I like about this one is the storytelling in it, because if Orton's working with injured ribs and he does a move like that where he lands on his ribs, good storytelling. No problem with that at all, I promise you. Goes to the RKO again, but it's countered. Sheamus hits the bro kick for 2. He uses a chair on the ribs for 2. He tries to use a chair again, but eats an RKO. Sheamus wisely rolls out of the ring. He goes for the McMahon destroying punt of doom, but it misses. Bro kick again. He rolls Orton into the ring, gets 2 again. He goes for the high cross on the steps, but is countered and Sheamus lands back first on the steps, and then RKO onto the steps, gets the 3-4 Orton. Loved it, great match. No problem with that at all. Superb psychology, nice storytelling, decent length. This one went 22 minutes by my watch. Perfect length in my opinion. At no point was it boring, and then there's just a tiny little issue for me as Orton stopped selling the ribs, stopped selling the left arm, climbs on top of the cake, top of the cell, a la Brock Lesnar in 2002. Bothered me that, and then you see him at the top of the ramp holding the belt up, and you're just like, sell the shoulders, sell the ribs. Don't celebrate. If you sell it, it makes your opponent look better. Don't be sitting there going, I am the fucking greatest, that was that piece of piss. Go, ooh, shit, I'm glad I won, but fuck, that was hard work. Ooh, it's easy, come on. And then, we see a bragging rights video complete with the Nexus on it. If that's a little bit of a spoiler, I don't know what is. So, and then, you see this, the show could have gone downhill at this point, because Alberto Del Rio comes out, and he talks for ages. Edge comes out to interrupt him and almost turns face by default, because the crowd are like, yes, someone shut him up, brilliant. Basically, Jack Swagger comes out. All I'm thinking to myself is, I paid for this. It's something new, because imagine, that's the mentality I have watching it. I'm watching this going, I paid £15 for this. I paid to see these people talk. To cut a long story short, it leads to a match between Sheamus, he's just fought, Jack Swagger and Edge. It was not bad, two-star match, basically, basic psychology of which was Swagger trying to put the ankle lock on. I had no problem with that. 2 stars, no problem whatsoever. Next, I'm speaking to a few people on MSN while I'm watching this show, and I say, as Cena versus Wade Barrett starts, I reckon that Wade Barrett's going to win this when Darren Young interferes. That was what I was thinking. Anyway, so yeah, this, in my opinion, was a 3.5-star match. Cena controlled at the start, including a drop kick for 2. Barrett then controlled with punches, but Cena fought out them with punches of his own, and he tried to do the attitude adjustment, which, why are they calling it the AA now? Is this just easier to say, or is it just, I don't know, is that what they want to call it from now on? It's just the AA? There we go, happy. Nexus come out, and Wade Barrett tries to send him to the back. Barrett controls with a crap-looking backbreaker and an elbow off the top. Why do I try and call him Bassett? Don't know why. Maybe it's just because my handwriting is truly atrocious and my R looks like an S. Maybe, but I keep trying to call him Bassett, and it's like, it gets to the tip of my tongue every time, Anyway, neckbreaker gets 2 for Barrett, and the crowd chant for both men. The crowd are fully into these two. They were not too great between Edge and Jack Swagger, especially. They're really into both men. I mean, literally, let's go Barrett chant for Wade Barrett. Wow, didn't expect that one at all. Barrett works the neck with a surfboard. 5 moves of doom, and then Nexus surround the ring. Big Slow comes out, and then the whole locker room comes out to get rid of Nexus. They want to all go in some beats. They send Nexus packing, then go backstage. STF is countered into a pump handle slam, which gets 2 for Wade Barrett. Wasteland is countered into a gut wrench suplex for 2. Underhook suplex, which is beautiful, gets 2 for Wayne. Wayne? Who's Wayne? Dunno. Black hole slam type move gets 2 for Wade also. Elbow off the top misses. Leg drop off the top gets 2 for Cena. AA is counted into a wasteland for a very near fall. And I like that one a great deal. Attitude adjustment only gets 2, and I was absolutely convinced there's the finish. And Edge you see sort of near fall. STF Cole is screaming at Wade Barrett to tap out. He's shouting, come on Cena, tap out Wade. He's like, you've been a heel. This whole show you've been healing it up. This last couple of weeks on Raw you've been healing it up. Why are you fucking chanting for Cena? That doesn't make sense. It's one of the problems I have with Cole as a heel commentator. One minute he's a heel, next he's a face. Like, well, which one do you want to be? You can't be both. It doesn't work like that. Anyway, basically a fan hits the ring, and then some guy hits Cena with an object so Wade Barrett can get the 3. Match was way better than it had any rights to be, in my opinion. Decent length. The fans are staggeringly shocked. They keep cutting to the crowd. It's like, sort of, wow, they're shocked. Cena looks like he's going to cry. Decent length, yeah, I gave this some 3.5 stars, no problem with that whatsoever. Then Natalya defeated McCool by disqualification, which is nice. My only notes from this match were, who throws a shoe? Which one of the commentators mentioned. One of the things I have to mention also about the commentators tonight is that Jerry Lawler and Matt Striker were going at each other something wrong. Kane really just sounds like on commentary like he doesn't give a shit. He reminds me, honestly, of Bobby Heenan did in 1999. You know, where he just didn't care. He just didn't give a fuck about what he was watching. And then, in the main event, Kane defeating Undertaker to retain the World Heavyweight Championship inside the other Hell in a Cell match. Now, what did I say on my predictions of it, didn't I say? I said that I thought Undertaker was going to win, but logic decreed that Paul Bearer would turn on Undertaker so that Kane would win. Didn't I say that? Go and check. I did. They brawl on the outside before the bell has started, then Kane tries to use a chair, but it's kicked into his own face. They go inside the ring and Taker uses the chair, then controls with snake eyes and a big boot. Kane comes back with a chair shot and shoulders in the corner. Taker controls on the outside, bouncing Kane's off the cell. But Kane comes back with a chair to utter silence. And you're like, wow! I know the fans are into the last match, but they don't give a shit about this one. Which is weird, or just the fans telling WWE what we've been trying to tell them for ages, which is no one wants to see Undertaker vs Kane ever again. Could be. He uses a chair and works the knee with a ring post. Taker comes back with a leg drop on the apron, where Taker sells the knee rather nicely. Inside, Kane drop kicks the knee. He then puts on a leg lock, slugfest, and a leaping clothesline by Taker. Old School is countered as Kane clips the knee. Psychology, baby! Superplex by Kane, Hell's Gate by Taker is cleverly countered as Kane escapes out onto the bottom rope. Never seen him use that way of doing it, of course, because the bottom, if he got to the bottom rope, they'd have to break the hold. But I like that. Double big boot results in a double KO, and they sit up at the same time. DDT by Taker gets 2, as does a chokeslam. Last Ride is countered into a chokeslam for 2 by Kane. Kane controls with punching in the corner, countered into the Last Ride for 2. Tombstone is countered into one of his own by Kane. That gets 2. Kane then takes out the referee. The door is unlocked so he can help out. And you think to yourself, what could be coming here? They help out the referee and Paul Bearer gets in the ring. Kane sits there shouting at him. And then Undertaker signals for the end. He chokeslams Kane. He signals for the end and all the lights go out and sort of electricity is going off. Paul Bearer's got the urn. And some light comes out of the urn and blinds the Undertaker. Paul Bearer's sat there between them going, what shall I do? And gives the urn to Kane. Uses the urn. 1, 2, 3. 3-star match. This was a really good show. Like a surprisingly good show. Like, maybe our expectation levels were so far down, this actually turned out to be something pretty damn good. I mean, seriously, I would happily, at this moment in time, give this 8.5 out of 10. Fully recommend it, I would, if I had my own way, there would have obviously been blood, and the Swagger vs Edge match would have been made on SmackDown on Friday night, and given another 5 minutes, which you probably could have put it up to a 3-star match happily. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this show. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to know what you thought down here. I've been Mark P, and I'll be back in a couple of days. Take it easy. Bye bye.